of awesome! I'm Ava Jane, this is Bookish Pixie. So today I want to talk about pirating, specifically book pirating, and why it's not as harmless as you think it is. Oftentimes when I'm online, I see published authors say things to the effect of, "Don't tell me that you've pirated my book and expect me to be happy about it." The thing is, I don't think most readers realize just how harmful book pirating is. Look at it this way. Making a book is not a quick and easy process. Writing the first draft itself can take anywhere from weeks to months to even years depending on the writer. Then, after you finish the first draft, you need to edit it. After you've edited your manuscript, you need to send it to your critique partners, who then read the manuscript and give you back feedback. Again, which can take weeks to months depending on the writers. After the critique partners have then sent back their feedback, you then need to look at their feedback and edit again. Once you've done that, you might send it out to critique partners again or beta readers or whatever, which then takes another set of weeks to months as they read it over, give you feedback, and you go ahead and edit it again. Finally, you have a semi-polished manuscript, and that's when you send it to your agent. Now your agent, depending on how he or she works, will read it and either send you back feedback for more edits or they'll start sending it on submission. If you have an agent who edits, then you're going to be editing probably for several more weeks to months. If your agent reads your manuscript and thinks it's ready for submission, then awesome, it's gonna go on submission. Submission can take, well, weeks to months again, sometimes even years. It really depends. But during that time, that's when editors read your manuscript and writers basically fret and try to write something else and distract themselves. Hopefully, you eventually get a contract and you start working with an editor, and guess what? You're going to edit again. From there are several rounds of edits. There are copy editors, there are people who work on the cover, there are people who work on the design of the book, there are people who work on the marketing. Every little aspect of the book will be analyzed, and there will be people who have a job to handle that part of the book, and it takes a long time. So by the time the book finally reaches the shelves and hits the bookstores, it's probably been many years since the writer wrote the first draft. Now let's talk monetary compensation. How much a writer makes varies like a ridiculous amount. Some writers become huge bestsellers and they get movie deals, and it's totally awesome. They can totally make a living just from their writing, and that's basically the dream scenario for every writer. But those scenarios aren't exactly the most common. Becoming a mega bestseller with a movie deal is kind of like hitting the lottery. It happens, and when it happens, you hear tons about it, but the truth is it doesn't happen that often. Most writers will mid-list. They'll do all right, well enough to be able to publish again, but not necessarily well enough to be able to support themselves just on their writing. The fact of the matter is, most writers have to publish several books and wait several years before they can make enough writing to support themselves. Contrary to popular belief, writing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. The reality is, for writers, every sale counts. So when people pirate copies, they tend to think it's one download or a couple downloads, so it's not really a big deal. But it is a big deal because writers depend on every sale. When you pirate a book, you're telling the author, I don't think your years of hard work are worth anything. I could go on forever about why pirating sucks, but the main thing to remember is writers really do depend on their sales. And every time you pirate a book, you're taking money out of a writer's pocket. So please remember to support your authors. Buy their books, go to the library, get their copies through legal channels. Authors have worked really hard to get their books out there and available to you. And personally, I think the least we can do is show them some respect and support. So that's all I have for today. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I will see you guys next week.